Hey y'all, this is Angela Shelley from Messy Growth, and this is the very first video for my channel. I picked the name Messy Growth because that is what the growth throughout our lives is a lot of times. Messy, right? We may make a few mistakes along the way and hit a few bumps, but at least we're heading in the right direction. I have designed Messy Growth to be a coaching and consulting company that focuses on strengthening the family unit. I focus on personal and marriage coaching as well as financial and educational consulting. This channel is going to be dedicated to topics such as personal growth, marriage strengthening, financial knowledge, as well as homeschooling and running a home. I am so excited about this channel and the community that it's going to build. I have been married to the same wonderful guy for over 13 years now, and we have 4 beautiful children together. I have also been homeschooling our children for just over 12 years. I'm a bit of a free spirit, and I don't like rules that hold me down. Now, none of my friends and family will be surprised by that statement at all. Homeschooling, however, was never on my radar to begin with. I thought all homeschoolers must wear little house on the prairie dresses and bonnets and make bread and butter all day. So, when my husband suggested that I looked into it, I thought he was nuts. But I did like the idea of the freedom that would bring, so I thought I would check it out. I absolutely fell in love with it. Now, that isn't to say that I didn't have days where I was just counting the minutes until my husband got home so I could hand him the children and go somewhere quiet by myself with a glass of wine for 2 minutes. But when it's all said and done, it is a wonderfully freeing way to raise your children. I will be showing you guys some of the tools and tricks I've learned throughout the years of homeschooling. I will also show you the curriculum that we're using. Well, at least the curriculum we're using this year. I like to change things up frequently. Also, I'll show you some of the traditions that we have throughout the year. I have so many tips, tricks, tools, ideas, and memories, and I can't wait to share them all with you. Of course, none of this would be possible without my handsomely nerdy husband. He designed my website, he edited this video, and he also helps me navigate this chaotic journey that we sometimes call life. We have been doing life together for over 13 years. We had a whole 6 months together before we found out we were pregnant with our very first baby, Layla. Now, do you remember when I told you a little earlier that I was a bit of a free spirit? Well, my husband, he is not. So, needless to say, our parenting styles are completely different. But it's okay because I'm right and he's wrong. No, but seriously, enter the very first major conflict of our marriage: parenting. We have been working on it now for over 12 years, and I think it's safe to say that we might be getting the hang of it soon. But the jury's still out on that. I mean, when it comes right down to it, marriage is just hard. There are so many things that get thrown at you throughout your life: births, deaths, jobs, moves across the country, family drama, the list goes on and on. And there is no way that a couple can sail through all of that without a single hiccup. But if you find that family, let me know. And I bet you all of my millions of dollars, of which I have none, that they are probably lying, or they just haven't been married long enough for anything significant to happen yet. Marriage is super important to the makeup of a strong family, though. Our society and culture would like to make you think otherwise. However, the truth is in the statistics. Gillespie Shields, Pew Social Trends, and IFS studies are telling us that we are down to having only 46% of families that are part of 2-parent households on their first marriage. They are also telling us that this may not only have an effect on a child's physical and mental health, but also on their socioeconomic outcome later on in life. What are some ways that we can combat the rise in divorce among our families? Sometimes the answer is as simple as changing up a routine or not holding on to the same old grudges year after year. But I also understand that most of the time, the hurt goes much deeper than that. The hard news, however, is that marriage doesn't go south in a day. It's a slow process that happens over time. Well, the same can be said for repairing the damage. It will not happen overnight. It will be a slow process. It will be messy, but you will both be working on it in the same direction together. The topic that I want to touch on today is a fun one. It's also something I hear a lot from my couples that are burnt out on their date nights. How do you keep your date nights more interesting than dinner and a movie? But what can you do for just a few hours that costs a reasonable amount of money? You do actually have to pay the way too expensive babysitter after all. And also something that you guys can both enjoy doing and relax. Let's shake things up a little bit. Here are 20. That's right, 20 different options for things to do. Some of these might be a little more relaxing than others, and some might be a little easier to find in bigger cities than smaller cities. However, if you're lucky enough to be watching this from the Denver area, I have done all the work for you, and I've posted a link to just about everything I'm going to mention in the description below. I know, thank you, so amazing, thanks. Also, some of the places are chains, and they might have a location in your area, so be sure to check that out just in case. But before we get into the list, make sure to smash that like button. The subscribe button might need some love too. You don't want it to feel left out. Oh, and ring that bell for notifications. The YouTube gods will appreciate it. Now, let's get into that list. The first one on the list is offbeat city tours. Sometimes your city might have an underground tour, ghost tour, microbrewery tour, wine, beer, microcrafts, whatever. They have a lot of different types of tours around. And you can just check your city out and see what's available. There's some links in the description below for Denver. The second thing on the list is a painting class or board and brush class or a pottery guild. So a lot of times an art guild in your city might give classes to the public, and I've linked a pottery guild in the description below for Denver. There's also canvas and cocktails, painting with a twist, etc. Those are different painting classes where you can go. And my husband and I have done those, and they are a lot of fun. There's also Board and Brush, which is another chain, and it may be in your area. And they do wood painting, staining, and stenciling classes where you pick out the stencil that you want and they will customize it and have it ready for you when you come in. Then you will paint, stencil, and finish your piece during the class. Number 3 on the list is indoor rock climbing. And they have these at REIs or gyms, or like in the link I put down below, it will be an indoor rock climbing facility dedicated to just that. They have things for beginners all the way up to advanced rock climbers. Number 4 on the list is a cooking class. My husband and I absolutely love cooking classes. We take them everywhere. Cruises, in our city. We've done them on a 60-mile bike ride before when we went to Mississippi. They had a special one right afterwards, and we signed up for that, and we had a lot of fun. So those are great, and you can even go to some that are specifically designed to teach certain types of food, or sometimes they will be ones that are designed to help you feed your whole family or on a budget, or sometimes they're themed that way. So they're a lot of fun. Number 5 on the list is a mixology class. If you don't know what mixology is, that is like a cocktail making class. And they have these all over the city, sometimes at specialty bars, sometimes at restaurants. The link that I put in the description down below is a myriad of choices of experiences in the mountains, and one of them is a mixology class. Number 6 is an escape room. And if you haven't tried these are super cheesy and super fun. Sometimes we'll go on a date night, and sometimes we'll go and take our 2 oldest kids on their kid date night that we take them on, and they have loved it. We have loved it. We've taken big groups, and they have liked it as well. So this is great fun. Next, we have a murder mystery dinner, and these are super cheesy fun also. And I've done these in different cities, sometimes like Las Vegas, or just different places that you're around. Cruises, they might have things like that. And then in your city, they'll probably have a murder mystery dinner theater, and it's a lot of fun because you get to interact with the characters, and it's very interactive with the audience. The next one, number 8, is to visit a dive bar and do karaoke. Or if you're lucky enough to live in one of the cities that will have the private karaoke bars, those are a lot of fun too, because you don't have to be where all the other people are. And in the private karaoke bars, they will have a couple of microphones, and you can use your phone to put in the songs that you want, and you're in your own private room, and there's a big disco ball, and you can have anywhere from 2 people to about 15 or so in one room, and that's a lot of fun. Food, drink, and singing. Number 9 on the list is archery or axe throwing. And if you have never done an axe throwing experience, that is super fun. My husband and I found that about a year ago. We've taken friends, we've gone on date nights, and it's a lot of fun. I got to throw 2 axes at once, and I hit the bullseye, and I was so impressed with myself. And then number 10 on the list is a speakeasy or an underground cocktail bar. Now, these have been around for a little while, but I just recently discovered them and they're amazing. So it's these secret places that you have to know where you're going because they're not advertising where they are. And sometimes you have to call ahead and make a reservation or else they won't let you in at all. And you go in there and they have private rooms, they have public areas, music, dancing, games, all sorts of stuff. And it is a ton of fun. We took a big group a few weeks ago, and we just had a blast. It was a lot of fun. Sometimes the entrances are behind bookshelves in different stores, and yeah, it's a lot of fun. Speakeasies and underground cocktails. Number 11 on the list is very similar to number 10, or you could put them together. It is to dress up, invent fantastic backstories about yourselves, and go hang out at an exclusive bar in the city. This is so fun if you guys want to spice things up, meet just for tonight friends, and just go have a good time. Number 12 on the list is to go to a cat cafe. There are 2 of these cat cafes in Denver, and you can actually, the cats that are there, you can adopt. And now, I'm not real sure about this because I don't know how well cats and food mix, but if that's your thing, you can go try that out. All right, number 13 on the list is called geocaching. And if you haven't heard about geocaching, you can download the app. And what you do is go to a public place, a trail, a park, even like like a downtown area, and you go there and follow the map, and you'll find these little treasures. And you open up the treasure, and you get to keep what's ever inside. However, if you're going to do this one, you better come bearing gifts because you are then expected to replace a treasure for someone else to find. This one's a lot of fun. It's kind of like a giant public scavenger hunt. Number 14 on the list is something called Menus and Music. Erin and I have a few of these at our house, and the author is Sharon O'Connor, and she has artfully put together menus and different music to go along with those specific dishes. And you're supposed to cook with your spouse, listen to the music, and have some wine, and have a great evening of just kind of being silly together at home. And that's a lot of fun. Number 15 on the list is one that you just need to keep your eye out for. So these are festivals and parades. Renaissance festivals, Greek food festivals, taste of your city, 4th of July parades, any of those types of things. Just keep an eye out for what's going on in your town, and then make sure you take advantage of the fun things that are happening around you on the weekends that they're happening. Number 16 is to go to a pub trivia or pub quiz event. Now, this one's a lot of fun. My husband and I used to do this one when I would drop the kids off for their dance classes. We would meet at this little pub that's right around the corner. He would get off of work, and I would come and meet him, and we would do trivia night once a week. And then he would go off and do his thing, and I would go off and take care of the kids afterwards. And that was what we did when we just didn't have a whole lot of time to spend together. And that was actually some really good memories. We had a lot of fun just in the couple of hours we got to spend answering some silly trivia at a pub. Number 17 and number 18 are probably my 2 favorite on the list. And it's my extreme introvert and my extreme extrovert on either ends. So number 17 is to make up a bed by the fire and get like a glass, like a bottle of wine with glasses and some cheese or some sort of snacks, and snuggle up in the bed with your spouse and watch a movie. That's one of my favorites. It's when I don't want to go anywhere or see anyone or really do anything, and that one's great fun. Number 18 on the list is to go dancing or to learn how to dance. And I have always enjoyed dancing. Dancing is one of my favorite hobbies. And so I love to go to some of the different Latin clubs in town, or some of the ballroom dance societies, or even some of the Western clubs where they do two step or swing. Those are a lot of fun as well. And that's my extreme extrovert side coming out, wanting to go out and have some fun and laugh with some friends. Number 19 on the list is to go to a cafe somewhere that's real, like in a real busy area of downtown, and get a snack or a drink and sit outside on the patio and just watch the world go by. There are some crazy characters that are downtown sometimes, and it's a lot of fun just to sit and relax and watch the strange dog that just walked by, or the man in the funny hat, or whatever comes by is always fun to talk about. And the very last thing on our list is Airbnb. Now, you may be saying, Airbnb, that is a place where you go look for places to stay. Well, Airbnb actually has a little section on it called experiences. And if you click on your city, then there will be different categories, subcategories for experiences. And they have food and drink, nature, art and culture, entertainment, sports, and wellness. And those are all the different categories that they have of these experiences. They have everything from progressive foodie experiences to dressing up in period clothing and going to excursions around town, to glacier hikes and geothermal cave pools. Now, of course, you have to have glaciers and geothermal cave pools around your area. But if you live near Denver, you do. And these are a lot of fun. So those are your 20 options on your list of date night experiences that are better than dinner and a movie. Now, after experiencing each of these, dinner and a movie might not be such a bad idea to change things up a little bit. But hopefully, you will never have to be bored with your date nights ever again. Thanks so much for joining me, and I hope to see you again on the next video.